show. We're doing this today, Tuesday, because this is the day after Labor Day. Labor Day fell on a Monday, and I was at the beach, so I didn't do the show. At the beach with my family. So I decided I'd do it on Tuesday. I think we did it on Tuesday last week as well, because we had some technical difficulties on Monday. And so that Tuesday show went off pretty well. We had good viewership. And so here I am again on Tuesday. I haven't officially changed the date from Mondays to Tuesday. And who knows, maybe we won't. I do like doing them on Mondays. But here we are today. And on our Note Investing for Newbies show today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, which is note investing. And we're going to also be talking about how note investing can work for you with your retirement account. So that's kind of what things are going to be looking at today. So let's see. Today, our show is brought to you as usual by investbrilliantly.com. At investbrilliantly.com, you can learn all about note investing. You can, there's a lot of free information there, a lot of free training. You can go to the website, investbrilliantly.com, and you can register there, and you can start to receive the free training that we offer. Also, if you want some hands-on coaching, you can sign up for the coaching, and it's pretty inexpensive, no contract, nothing like that. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the show, but I just want to remind you guys that that is available to you right now if you want to get over to investbrilliantly.com. Also, today, I would ask you, if you don't mind, sharing and liking my Facebook, this particular ad. And I want to welcome some of you guys to the show today. I want to welcome Pat, I should say. Pat says, I'm here. Welcome, Pat. That's she's here for me. That's my wife, and I do appreciate that. And I'm sure that we're going to have a few more visitors on today as we go. And the big thing, though, is the message today is you can have a fantastic retirement if you just take a few steps to do some things a certain way. Thank you, Patrick France, for sharing today. We do appreciate you being on and sharing our show across Facebook. Thank you very much. Today, I'm going to be talking with you guys, though, about the retirement accounts and how to use your IRA to invest in mortgage notes. You see, because if you don't do something, you're not going to have a good retirement. I mean, it just doesn't happen by falling out of the sky. So it's important that you have a plan on how you're going to go about building a good retirement for yourself. Okay. As I said, if you don't mind sharing and liking this, I would appreciate it. Now, to get started, as I like to do on every one of these shows, is I like to take a couple minutes and just make sure that we're all on the same page. Since our show is called Note Investing for Newbies, I have to assume that there's some people on this that are watching this either live or in replay that don't really know what note investing is. And so I'll take a couple minutes right now and explain what note investing actually is. Now, what it is, when you're a note investor, you're actually buying mortgages on people's homes. Yeah, you heard me right. You actually are buying the mortgage on somebody's home. Now, I don't mean you're lending them the money. What happens is some bank will lend them the money. Some bank or mortgage company or credit union will lend them the money to buy the house. And then you go to that institution and you buy the mortgage, and you are entitled to collect the payments for the next 20 or 30 years, however long the mortgage has remaining. You get all that interest, right? And you get the same rights as the lender. For example, if you have a mortgage on a house and you don't make your monthly payments, what will happen? Yeah, that's right. The bank is going to take your house, they're going to foreclose, and then you're going to get kicked out, and they're going to sell your house, and all your equity is going to be gone because the bank's going to get all the equity. The very same thing happens to you if you buy the mortgage from that bank. If you foreclose, if the people don't pay you and you foreclose, you get the equity in the house. And that, we call that a windfall profit, right? So it's pretty darn safe. It's a pretty safe investment. I see Bethany came on and she has shared. Thank you very much, Bethany. I do appreciate you sharing. And I also appreciate you appearing. So today, I think you guys are going to like the show. We're going to be talking about using your retirement account to create an absolutely secure future for yourself. If you don't have a retirement account, that's okay. but I'm going to explain to you what a self-directed retirement account looks like. And then I'm going to show you how you can use note investing to create a wonderful future for yourself with a self-directed retirement account. Because your retirement isn't going to just happen by some miracle, right? Being able to retire in your golden years, you need to have a plan. What can you use to invest in mortgage notes? If you have a 401k, obviously you can use that. If you have a Coverdale, an educational savings program, right? I know that some of you guys have educational savings programs, a Coverdale program, you can use that. If you have a 403b or a SEP IRA, you can use that. If you have a health savings account, and I've heard some wonderful things about health savings accounts. And you guys, you may want to consider, if you don't have one, you may want to consider starting an HSA. I'm no expert in that stuff. I'm just telling you the different things that you can use to buy mortgage notes. You can create a brand new IRA. You can use a simple IRA, a Roth IRA. That's what I have, is a Roth. And so you can use any of these vehicles to invest in mortgage notes or in real estate or in Bitcoin or in anything else. You may not have been aware of that. See, here's some of the questions that I get when I start talking to people about the self-directing their retirement account. One of the first questions, of course, is what is a self-directed retirement account? Well, a self-directed retirement account is a retirement account that is held by a custodian that will allow you to tell them, that will allow you to decide where your money gets invested. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, every custodian will allow that, but that's actually not true. In most cases, traditional custodians, and you know all the big ones, right? Wherever you have your retirement account held, right? You know all the big names. I don't need to name them. They will typically not allow you to put your money into some investments that the IRS would actually allow you to do it. So a self-directed retirement account, your money is with a custodian that will allow you to decide what you want to invest your money in. And as long as the IRS is okay with it, then you should be able to put your money anywhere. Okay. And you may be asking, well, why haven't I heard of this self-directed retirement account before? And I know that a lot of you haven't. I know that I hadn't heard of it, not that long ago. And so I know that a lot of you haven't heard of it. And the reason that you haven't heard of it is pretty simple. I alluded to it with the last question, and that is this. If you have a retirement account, let's say you have a 401k, and you have it with your employer is telling you where you've got which custodian you must use. And the custodians that most employers use are custodians that are also licensed to earn fees in the stock market and from the sale and trading of stocks. So guess what? When it comes time to invest your money, they're going to put your money into the stock market. Think about that. That's the only thing they're going to do. Even though you have a right under the IRS guidelines to put your money elsewhere, these companies won't put your money there because they don't make any money there. Regardless of the fact that you could make a lot of money, maybe investing in real estate or notes or some other alternative investment, they don't allow it because they can't get paid. So it's not really about you in the eyes of these companies. And as I said, I'm not going to name any of them, but just think about who's holding your retirement account right now and how it's doing. They don't really care about your retirement. They don't really care if you make money or lose money. Not really. As a matter of fact, nobody does. You're the only person that's going to really care whether your retirement account makes money. And that's why I really like self-directed retirement accounts, because if you're going to retire, if you're going to lose all your money in retirement, lose it yourself. Don't let some other person out there lose your money for you. But you don't have to lose your money. All you got to do is get a little bit of education, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute, right? So how can you do this? Well, if you want to have a self-directed retirement account in which you can choose to use alternative investments, then you need to get an IRS-approved custodian that will allow you to invest your money in alternative investments. Okay? And those custodians are out there. As a matter of fact, on my website, investbrilliantly.com, I have some of them listed, my favorite ones that I have listed. I like directed investments. They are directed IRA. I'm sorry, directed IRA. They are an IRA custodian that I like. They do a really good job. I also like New View IRA. and they are a really good company. I like Quest Trust Company. They're a good company. And you'll see when you go to my website, investbrilliantly.com, you can see other things that you can do there. You know, I have a question here that came in from Eugene. How much or how little do you need in a traditional IRA to buy notes? Good question. Well, if you want to actually buy and own a note, an existing note, you're going to probably need, the way that I do note deals, you're going to need somewhere around $30,000. Now, I can tell you there are certainly smaller notes than that, and you don't have to buy mortgage notes. You could buy just non-secured notes. You can buy credit card debts. You know, those are another form of notes. So you have other options that are available to you, Eugene. I appreciate the question. But if you want to buy first position mortgage notes on cute little houses around America, then you're going to need to have somewhere around 30,000 plus. Okay. The more you have, the better, because you can buy bigger notes. You can buy in better neighborhoods. You can get better returns. And so the more the merrier. But if you don't have quite enough, there's another option. And I'll be talking about that a little bit here in just a minute. Okay. All right. So, as I said, you can go to investbrilliantly.com. You can see a list of the approved custodians. And it says here's another question that I get. Can I direct my retirement account into an investment in a small business? Can you take your retirement account and put it into an investment in a small business? Yes, you can. You can definitely do that. So let's say you got a buddy who's starting a little business and you believe his business is going to do well. And he needs a little money. Maybe he needs 25, 30, 40, 50,000 bucks. He's having trouble getting a small business loan because he doesn't have a track record. But you know this guy, and you have faith and confidence that he's going to do a great job with this new business. You can definitely direct your retirement account into his little business to help him build that business up. You can get a nice interest rate on your money. He can pay back directly into your retirement account. So that's a great way to invest your retirement account. As long as you're comfortable with it, then you can pull the trigger, but only if you're with the right custodian. Okay? Only if you're with the right custodian. So the point that I'm trying to make is know that you have other options, because you do. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. Can my retirement account buy a rental property? Yes. Your retirement account can actually buy a rental property. You can take your retirement account and buy an apartment building, a condo. You can buy vacant land, or whatever it is that you want to do. You may not even know that. And you can do that without incurring any penalties on your IRA or your retirement account, without incurring any taxes, because you're not actually taking your money out of the investment, out of the retirement account. You're rolling it over from its position in cash into a position in an asset. And that's completely acceptable under IRS guidelines. And it doesn't hurt you at all. As a matter of fact, it only helps you from a tax perspective. So you should definitely be looking at setting up your retirement account, so that you can then invest in rental property, if that's what you like, right? Now, next question. Can my retirement account buy a vacation rental? Absolutely. Now, your retirement account can buy a vacation rental that you can then use, like with Airbnb or some other vacation rental type place, and your retirement account can be making money to help strengthen your retirement, right? That's the whole point of it. But now, let me just tell you one caveat. If your retirement account buys a vacation rental, let's say in Hawaii, you can't go to Hawaii and stay in your own retirement property. Is not allowed. I'm sorry, your vacation property is not allowed. Your retirement account can own it, but you cannot benefit from it until you hit retirement age. So you can't go stay there just because you're in Hawaii. Now, there are people in your family that can, and there are people in your family that cannot. Like Uncle Joe, he could probably stay in there. But again, you want to talk to one of the custodians. But you can't stay there. I know your kids can't stay there. Your grandparents can't stay there. Your parents can't stay there. So others, though, can. Okay? So you can set it up, and your retirement account can own these types of these types of assets. I mean, it's really pretty fantastic. And all the profits that you make when you do this are either tax deferred or completely tax free, depending on which type of retirement account you have. It's either tax deferred or completely tax free. Okay. Now, another question. Can my retirement account borrow money to acquire an investment? Yep. Now, maybe you don't have enough money in your retirement account to go and buy a condominium in Hawaii. You don't have that much cash. However, you do have enough for a down payment, where your retirement account can actually put up the down payment and borrow the rest of the money. There are banks that lend, they have programs designed to lend to retirement accounts. Just like they have programs designed to lend to first-time buyers and to veterans, and they have programs designed to lend to retirement accounts, IRA, 401k accounts. Isn't that crazy? You know, we don't even know this stuff, but it's there. So you don't have to come up with all the cash. Your retirement account could borrow money just like you. The beautiful thing about retirement, your retirement account borrowing money, though, is this. You don't have to use your credit. Doesn't matter about your credit. They don't even run your credit. They don't care about your credit. It's irrelevant. And you're not responsible for the repayment of that debt. If that investment goes sideways, the only thing that could happen is your retirement account could lose its money, but you're not personally on the hook. You know, like if you just borrowed the money, you'd be personally on the hook if it wasn't in a retirement account, and could force you into bankruptcy, right? We've seen a lot of people go bankrupt because their investments went south. But if your investment is in this type of an investment and you're using the retirement account to borrow the money and things go sideways, your personal life is still intact. That's a really important distinction that you should understand. So what I'm telling you is that it's a good thing. Okay. It's a very good thing when your retirement account borrows the money so that you can buy bigger investments, because you get to use leverage inside the retirement account. How about this question? Can my retirement account loan money to a real estate investor to purchase a property? Yeah, it sure can. Your retirement account can actually serve like a bank and lend money to people that want to do something. Whether it's to buy a rental property, maybe there's somebody that you know that wants to buy a rental property, but they don't have enough money down, or they have a down payment, but they need the rest. You can actually be the lender for them, just like as if you were a bank. Your retirement account can be a lender for them, I should say, as if it were a bank. And you can write up the paperwork. You can get a mortgage loan officer to do all the paperwork to keep it compliant. And I know the whole process. So, you know, what you want to do is, if you want to do that kind of thing, you want to reach out to us and we can just point you in the right direction, right? But you can certainly do it. If someone wants to buy a house, let's say some rehabber out there purchased a house already, they paid cash to buy it. Now they need another $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to renovate it. You could come in and offer that, right? You could offer that to these people and say, I will provide you with the cash to renovate it, and they can pay you interest on your money for providing them with the cash, and your retirement account can start to earn interest right into the retirement account and getting you ready for retirement. Okay, next big question. Can my retirement account invest in mortgage notes? By now, you probably have already figured out, yeah, sure. The answer is yes. Okay, and that's what I recommend, by the way. At least some of your money should be going into mortgage notes, because when you invest in mortgage notes, you can get interest every month from the real estate, and you don't have to be a landlord. So you can get cash flow, passive income, safety, and you don't have to be a landlord. But yet that real estate is right there as your collateral. If people don't pay you, you actually can take the real estate. Okay, so you can do that. And I definitely suggest that you put a piece of your money, your retirement account, into mortgage notes, because it just makes absolute sense. I'm not saying you shouldn't put it in other things. I mean, if you want to buy some apartment buildings too, buy some apartment buildings too. But don't neglect notes, because in the long run, I think you're going to come to realize notes are really where it's at. Because when you're in the notes business, you're in the money business. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the money is in the money business. So if you want to make some money, you need to get into and start to understand understand how money works, and you need to be in that space. Okay, the money is in the money business. Can my retirement account loan money to a mortgage note investor? Yes, absolutely. Just like it can loan money to a real estate investor, it can loan money to a mortgage note investor, and you'll get collateral. Matter of fact, you have two types of collateral when you lend to a mortgage note investor. You have collateral in the mortgage document itself, and then you have the collateral of the real estate itself. So you've got double collateral. And if you don't know what collateral is something that you can take if people don't pay you back when they owe you money. So if you loan money to a mortgage note investor, you'll get paid back, or you're going to come out really smelling like a rose. Okay. And so you're going to find that note investors rarely default because of that. It's just too expensive for a mortgage note investor to default. They lose so much. And so you'll get paid back. You'll get paid back with interest. And you won't lose a minute's sleep over it. And you're going to get cash flow, and you're going to make a lot of money. Okay, that's how you can make money with mortgage notes without learning a lot about mortgage note investing. Okay, because it is a little bit more of a complex type of an investment, but you don't have to become an expert in it in order to profit from it. You can, any more than you need to become an expert in flipping houses in order to profit from flipping houses. You can just be the funding source for the house flipper. Let them become the expert. You can be the funding source for the note investor. Let them be the experts. And you just get paid because you are the funding source. Doesn't that sound cool? That is really cool. Okay. Now, what is the simplest way to direct my retirement account into mortgage notes? Well, the simplest way, step one, is you need to move your funds from wherever they are into a custodian that will allow you to invest in anything that the IRS says is an acceptable investment. And the list is super duper long. Okay. So pretty much everything that we talked about here today is all approved on the list. And pretty much anything you can think of with just a couple of exceptions, you can invest in. And those exceptions, you can talk to your custodian. They'll tell you exactly what they are. Real estate, notes, Bitcoin. I mean, you can invest in all that stuff, right? Land. You can, of course, it's stocks, bonds. You can invest in all that. Small businesses, you can do that. You can invest into trusts. You can invest into all kinds of stuff. But the simplest way to direct your retirement account into a mortgage note is to first move your money over to a custodian that will allow you to do so. And then the simplest way to get started is to start off as a lender, where you don't have to necessarily become an expert in notes in order to start making money in notes. Now, while you're a lender, you're loaning money to some note investor, and what you can do during that time is you can also, beef up your knowledge of notes in case you decide that you actually want to be the owner of the notes. And when you do invest by lending money to a note investor, you still do get a note and a mortgage document. You get a promissory note. And so you are a note investor, except you're the lender. You're not buying from a lender. As I said at the beginning of this show today, I mentioned, we start by going to these banks and hedge funds and credit unions, and we buy the mortgages from them because they were the original lender. All I'm saying is that you can start off as the original lender too. And it's a simple way to get started. And it's easy, and it's painless, and it's very, very safe. Okay, so that's one way to get started. Let's see. How do I find note investors that want to borrow money from my retirement account? Well, here's what I would suggest to you to find people that want to borrow money. You want to participate in an investor community. And what do I mean by that? Well, investors that are out there tend to have ways that they communicate, right? And so you'll find investor communities all around the country and all over the internet. These communities are where people come together that are interested in the same investment class. For example, people that are looking for multifamily apartments, they have meetings, they have meetups, they have online webinars, they have online meetings, and you can participate in these. They have Facebook groups, they have LinkedIn relationships, Zoom meetings. You can participate in these, any of them, And you just literally let the people in these events know that you have money to lend. Okay. And they will raise their hand if they want to borrow money. So that's what you want to do. You want to get to participate. There are some great mortgage note groups out there too. Our group, our mortgage note group, Cash Flow Investors, on Facebook is a great group to be a part of. But in addition to that, we also have a training program, because I don't believe that you should be investing into any asset class until you understand it enough, right? Warren Buffett said, invest in what you understand. And I fully agree with that. Unfortunately, most people don't really understand the stock market, and they put their money in the stock market, but what they do is they'll hire a stock broker or a financial planner that, quote, understands the stock market, and they let that person invest their money. But believe me when I tell you this, nobody is going to care more about your retirement dollar than you do. Okay, so when you turn your money over to somebody else, cross your fingers. Okay, it's not their money, it's not their retirement, and they just won't pay attention to it like you will. So what I suggest to people is, when you start to participate in these communities, learn about the asset class. Okay, get some financial intelligence around it. And once you feel comfortable with it, then pull the trigger. Okay, in order to help people do that, I started this little coaching program on notes. If you want to learn about notes, I think we have a really good resource. You can go to my website, investbrilliantly.com, and at investbrilliantly.com, when you get there, you just click right there on that, tell me about your coaching program, right? Now, we charge less than $100 a month to teach people about mortgage notes. We have online training. We have a video-based course that you have access to. It is month by month. And once you make your first deal, you don't have to pay anymore. Okay, so once you do this and you learn this stuff, you don't have to pay anymore. We just cancel the $97. You remain a part of the community forever. And if you do your first deal in the first month, you'll just pay $97 once. If you do your first deal in the third month, you'd pay it 3 times, right? No big deal. Either way, though, you're going to learn a lot before you pull the trigger. And that's the key. Because once you do really understand note investing, like the rest of us, you're going to go, holy smokes, this is fabulous. This is fabulous. I'm so glad I found this. And you'll sleep well knowing that you have put your money to work in the right place with the right collateral. You're going to get a great return, and it's just going to make sense to you. And so that's what I want you to understand. So I want you to just, learn first. Don't just go out there and throw your dollars around. That's kind of foolhardy. And I don't want you to be foolhardy. Okay? I'm a big proponent of financial intelligence. It's really important that you become financially intelligent. And right now, what I want you to understand is this also. They don't teach this to you in school. And it's not that they are trying to hide it from you. My feeling is that most teachers and instructors don't have financial intelligence. That's been my experience with the ones that I've dealt with. So they can't teach what they don't have. Okay, they don't have very much financial intelligence. They have intelligence. I'm not saying that they're not intelligent. They're right. But when it comes to money, they're not always the brightest. I've certainly seen that when I had a mortgage company, and I would do mortgages for people that were teachers, principals, people that were professors. I've done mortgages for even a school district, the top person in the school district. I forget what the position is called. I've even done mortgages for people at that level, where their income was $250,000 a year, and they were still literally just a financial mess. Okay, they don't get it. And if you don't get it, then you're going to be a financial mess. And you're going to wind up, when you're in retirement, having to continue to work. And who knows where that's going to be, right? If you're lucky, you'll be able to work at a good job. Otherwise, if you're not, you're going to be working at Walmart or McDonald's or something, greeting people or whatever. And, that's nobody's retirement dream. I'm not putting those jobs down, but I don't think anybody says, hey, I can't wait to get to retirement so that I can go and do that. Okay. None of us say that. And so you're going to have to become financially intelligent. And so if you took our course, you're going to gain some financial intelligence. You can just go to Note Investor University, or you can just go to investbrilliantly.com. As I said, click on that link. And when you do that, click on that link right there. Tell me about your coaching program. And that's all you need to do. Okay. And once you do that, I'll tell you about our coaching program. And I'll show you how you can get started as a note investor. And I can tell you this as well. If you get started with this and you actually take it to heart, even if you don't have a lot of money, you will become wealthy over time with mortgage note investing if you follow the plan that I lay out for people. Now, you can become wealthy in a few years, or you can take a couple of decades. You can work at your own pace, but the steps are the same. And it's just a function of how quickly do you want to get through the steps. You can go slow, you can go fast. That's up to you. But I'll show you how to do it. Okay, I'll show you exactly how to do it, and you'll see that it'll work for you. And you will not need me to convince you, because I'm not going to try to convince you to start making money. What do I care? If you don't start making money, you don't start making money. But I will show you how if you want to. And it's up to you to step up and go do what's right for yourself and your family. Okay, I won't hold anything back from you. So there you have it, guys. I hope you guys will share this. If you guys have any questions or anything like that about this, you can always reach out to me as well. I do have, this is my cell phone number. It's 951-551-0087. You can, by calling me or texting me, or if you just want to go to my website, right? You go to investbrilliantly.com, and at investbrilliantly.com, you can actually book an appointment with me. See right here, it says book a 30-minute consultation. Book it. Yeah, I love talking to people, and I love it when I go into the office every day and I see that someone has scheduled a consultation with me. It excites me because I think, man, here's an opportunity for me to help somebody literally change their life. Literally. And I know that a lot of people say stuff like that, but I'm just telling you, this is life-changing stuff. You will never have to be broke again if you'll get into this business and take it seriously. You'll never be broke again. And then it's going to be your responsibility to pay that forward to someone else, to the next generation. You know, we call ourselves the ACI Legacy Group because we believe that we have a responsibility to create a legacy. And, you know, just because you do well in life doesn't mean you're not supposed to help someone else do well. As a matter of fact, I believe that if you are able to do well, like I am, then you have a responsibility to help someone else do well. Okay. And that's a part of why my program is only $97, and it's only until you do your first deal. I just want you to get off your rear end and do your first deal. It's not about the $97. It ain't going to make or break my life. $97 one way or the other doesn't matter. It's about you. It's, are you willing to put a little bit of money where your mouth is? Right? Talk is cheap. The world is filled with cheap talkers. You know, and I don't want them in my life personally. I like doers, not talkers. So if you're a doer, get over to investbrilliantly.com. Get yourself signed up for our program. I'll see you when you sign up. Once you sign up, you're going to have immediate access to this course that I have online, in which is going to teach you all the fundamentals of note investing. When you get about 40% of the way through that course, you'll get it. You'll have an opportunity to schedule your first coaching session with me. It's going to be a 1-hour coaching session. We're going to sit down. By then, you'll know enough about notes that we could actually have a real conversation. Okay. We're going to sit down. We're going to have a conversation. You'll tell me what you like about notes, where you want to go with the note investing space, and I'll show you a specific plan to get you wherever it is you want to get to. And you can go there at your own pace. Okay. And anyway, that's how we work. That's how I coach. So, all right, guys, I hope you found that helpful. And if you don't have an IRA or some sort of a self-directed retirement account, even if you don't have much money, you can start one with like $100. Okay, set one up and get yourself going. Start in that direction. It's not going to happen by osmosis, right? It's going to only happen if you make a decision to make it happen. So you need to do that. You need to get that going. Start putting a little bit of money in there every payday or something, whatever. Sell some of your toys, put that money in there and start making some money. Start creating a future for yourself and for your family, a good financial future. Okay, so that's what we got, guys. Thank you so much. Patrick France says, great information. You're welcome, Patrick. You're so welcome. Let's see here. Eugene asked a question. Are there private funders, I'm assuming he means, that are looking for notes to purchase? There are always people looking for notes to purchase. I am always looking for notes to purchase. Yes, always. So if you have any notes, Eugene, that you want us to take a look at, just send them over to our trade desk, right? Send them over to our trade desk at tradedesk@americoal.com, and you can find that on our website too. Go to Invest Brilliantly. Everything you need to know is right there, okay? All right, guys. Well, you guys enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. Get out there. Again, I'm Desi Arnaz. professional investor, and I'm looking forward to seeing you as a successful investor and helping you to get there. You can be part of my legacy. All right. That's what I would love to say. And I'd love to hear the day come when you say, wow, Desi's information changed my life. That's what I'm looking for, guys. God bless.